Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Jasmine, the Ahsoka Tano fan, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, I don't know if you noticed anything different about my video today. I happen to have a new accessory, if you guys can tell. I have a new microphone here, which was given to me by somebody very special. So I'm so excited to have it set up for today's video, and I can't wait to play around with it and record with it in the future. So thanks so much to that special someone. So guys, let's dive into the video. So we actually got the last two episodes released last week, episodes 6 and 7, which were Infiltration and Extraction respectively. And it was definitely a solid two-part episode. I haven't gotten a chance to respond to comments in the way that I would like. It's been a busy last week and a bit, but I did have a chance to look at your comments briefly, and it looked like you guys enjoyed the episodes as well. So in the last two episodes, we saw the Bad Batch visit Teth. Teth is obviously a huge callback to the Clone Wars, as I mentioned in my last reactions, and we saw them meet up with Rex and his team. Rex and his team had captured a clone assassin who was later assassinated by another clone assassin. I think a couple of you guys had your theories as to who this new clone assassin could be, but it was definitely intense because the clone assassin was basically hunting them down during these two episodes. You saw specifically Crosshair go up against this clone assassin, so that was kind of an intense fight. You felt like it was the battle of the two snipers, but then we find out at the end of the episode that the clone assassin survived the fall, so we definitely have not seen the last of him. We know that Omega is yet again a target of the Empire, but it is interesting because the clone assassin almost seemed as though he wasn't doing his best to ensure Omega was taken alive. The commander, who we find out is Wolf, I'm going to get to that in a second, had to remind him multiple times that Omega's to be taken alive, and still it seemed as though he was shooting down their ship and not necessarily taking those precautions to make sure she wasn't killed. So I wonder if that's just his methods, the way that he works, or does he actually want to kill her? Yeah, I kind of wonder about that because the Empire, to my knowledge thus far, has always wanted Omega alive. They talked about M count as well. We see Rex's team get picked off one by one by this assassin, which is pretty sad. Now I believe we're only left with Rex and Hauser from Rex's original team. There was a moment as well where Nemec was shot, and during my reaction I think I mentioned this, that my screen was kind of dark and everything had happened so fast, so it was hard for me to even tell that had happened because it happened very quickly. But there's one thing I wanted to remind you guys of as well. When you guys see my reaction, that is my honest, true reaction to what I'm seeing. I don't pause the episodes, I don't rewind them, so sometimes I do miss things and I do get things wrong at times. Sometimes when I'm wrong, it just makes it more fun, right? And I could, and any reactor could, edit out certain parts to make ourselves look like we didn't miss anything, but I just want to let you guys know that I leave it in, even if I'm wrong, just to kind of make it more fun. It's important for me to give you guys that honest reaction regardless of if I'm right or wrong. So now the biggest part of the episode arguably was when it was revealed that this commander was actually Wolf, which of course I was not thinking Wolf. They had a nice moment, kind of a touching moment there where despite being on opposite sides, they both acknowledged the fact that they were still brothers, and so Wolf ended up letting Rex go. So, you know, we know that Wolf obviously has to come around eventually because we see him in Rebels, but I like the fact that he didn't come around right away because it's more realistic to me to show Wolf gradually come to the other side. So going into this episode now, I was looking at the synopsis and it says, desperate for intel, Hunter and Wrecker track down a dangerous bounty hunter, which is very interesting because in the trailer we saw two bounty hunters, Cad Bane and Fennec Shand. So I'm guessing that it's probably going to be one of these two, unless there's some other new bounty hunter that they're going to introduce that we haven't seen in the trailer. So anyways guys, I don't want to speculate and talk too much. Let's blast our way into episode 8 now of the Bad Batch season 3 and check out what's in store for us. Bad territory. You just know they're going to get themselves into some trouble again. The Bad Batch. Oh, Pabu. Interesting.
Staring at your comm won't make Echo contact you any faster.
He and Rex lost most of their squad, all because the Empire was after me.
We need to know more about why Hemlock's after you and what his MCAN experiments mean.
Yeah.
Incoming transmission from Fee!
Oh, Fee.
She's a liberator of ancient wonders. Pirate.
She's a pirate. But that's right, Crosshair never met her. But remember, guys, Fee liked Tech. I wonder how she took his death.
I've been asking around about this M count thing. Tech's brain was the data bank, not mine.
Tech.
Class 1 bounty hunters have been retrieving M count targets for the Empire.
What's it mean?
You're better off asking a bounty hunter.
What about Fennec?
Who?
Fennec.
Shand. She was hired by the Kaminoans. Abduct Omega.
I should have had my Fennec cosplay on for this episode, you guys.
She's not gonna hand over that information for free.
His hand still messed up.
We can't trust Fennec. Not around Omega. You and I will go alone.
But
This isn't a debate. Stay out of trouble. Fine by me. See if you can convince him to get his hand looked at. Ignoring it won't make the problem go away.
Exactly. If he'll listen to anyone, it'll probably be her, to be honest. Alright, so it looks like it's gonna be Fennec. But could we also see Bane as well, possibly? There she is! Fennec! Oh. What kind of bar is this?
We're in the middle of something here.
Not anymore.
Wait, that's not Greedo, is it?
Sit down. I have no business with them.
You do now.
How is Omega?
We're here for information.
Get out.
I thought we were making a deal.
Oh. So first she tells him to stay, then she tells him to get out.
You tell me what intel or target you're after, and I give you a price.
The Empire has a bounty out for M-count targets.
Why do you want to know about that?
That's our business.
I haven't done
Fair.
one of those jobs myself, but I might know someone who has.
Bane? You think so? Ooh, I wonder if we're gonna see both of them, guys. Or Ventress?
You're good with demolitions and ordnance.
I'm the best.
You're the tracker. There's a bounty I've been trying to bring in. You'll be working for me. You follow through. I'll get you what you want to know.
Oh, okay, so she wants them to do a mission with her, or for her.
I keep the payment on the bounty. All of it.
I guess that's semi-fair?
there's nothing else you can do?
Perhaps the issue is not something physical.
You think it's in my head?
Oh.
To elaborate more on the experimentation you were subjected to, I could determine the cause.
Forget it.
Oh, yeah. Because remember, guys, we were kind of wondering exactly why his hand was like that, if it was because of what he endured on Tantus, or what happened on the outpost because he was exposed to the cold for long. But it does look like it's what happened on Tantus.
We don't even trust her. We need that information.
We made a deal. I'm going to keep it as long as you hold up your end.
Was she listening to them the whole time?
Siler Saris.
Oh.
Got greedy. Took out a couple of top bosses for the Haxian Brood and escaped with a cache of credits. The other hunters that went after him never came back.
Oh.
Knows the planet like the back of his claw. But eventually, everyone's luck runs out.
What I feel like that line was foreshadowing, you know? I feel like I'm hearing a bit of Fennec's theme in there.
The air here will kill you. Don't go dying on me until the job's done.
Yikes. I really wouldn't want to take that job.
10 for that. That's what I thought.
They better be careful that none of them get their helmets, or in Fennec's case, her mask, like broken or shot off or anything like that.
Siler's got a safe house upriver somewhere. Find it. You, whatever your name is, cover us.
She doesn't know Wrecker's name? Disrespectful.
What's in the water?
Let's just say I'd never go in it.
So that either means it's poisonous or something, or there's a creature underneath. What is these scents?
Some type of mine up ahead.
Ooh.
Better get in there and check it out.
But you said you never go in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not. You are.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. There's a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4.
Dozens of them. Our best option is to go around.
He won't be expecting us to disarm them.
Oh, Fennec, you are crazy.
You're the explosives expert, right? You want that information or not?
I don't think this is what Wrecker meant when he said he was the explosives expert.
Finished?
Not even close.
What? They said there were dozens of them, Fennec. How could they be finished so fast? Poor Crosshair, man.
You're still more capable than most.
That's not good enough for a sniper.
Whatever they did to you on Tantus could have affected you more than you realize. Maybe you're the one who has to fix it.
Aww. Omega's theme in the
I have an
background.
idea, but you're gonna have to trust me.
I'm not gonna like it, am I?
You don't like anything.
I just love the relationship, and I love the fact that Omega's always so positive. Again, guys, she's just the heart of that crew. She really is. No, not the creatures. They're gonna set off those mines.
Wanna speed it up?
Oh man. No pressure.
Unless you want to be lunch, I get up here.
So are those the galaxy's versions of crocodiles or something? Oh, shoot. Man, oh man. Oh, there's still one though. Or did they disarm that one? Oh. Man. Oh, Wrecker just picked one up.
That's why I never go in the water.
Now you tell them, Fennec.
Maybe you guys aren't cut out for this job.
You think you could do better without us? Even Omega got away from you.
Apparently, she got away from you too.
Oh, shots fired. She does care for Omega, I think.
You're both willing to work for me? That information must really be important to you. I didn't lose Omega. I let her go when the bounty was called off. They thought Omega would be safer with you guys.
Namaste.
Guess they were wrong about that. Good guys, bad guys, their money is all the same.
Money's not everything.
And that's because you don't have any.
Oh my gosh, she's really firing some shots here at them. Oh, okay. I guess they powered down their boat to avoid detection.
Go check Siler's hideout. I'm the lookout.
So we take all the risk, and you get all the reward.
Oh man, guys. My screen's dark again. Wow. I feel like I'm right there with them. Can't see a damn thing. What'd she see? Is that the guy? Yeah, that's him. He kind of almost seems like a snake in a way. How the hell are they gonna take this guy alive? Shoot. Wow. Oh, that's where he came from. Damn. Is he stealing he's stealing their boat? Ship, whatever.
You think I'd let you slip away from me again?
That didn't even work on him. Wow. Man. Go, Wrecker, go. Oh, did he get his knife there, or is that his own knife? Did he get him finally? How many stuns can this guy take? Damn. This job really required all three of them. Yep. They're meditating. Oh.
What are we doing?
It's meditation. It'll help you heal.
I doubt that.
Crosshair, listen to your older sister. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Where did you learn this?
Picked it up from my friend Gunji and the other Wookiees.
Oh yes, that's right.
You've missed a lot.
I know.
Close your eyes and focus.
Come on, Crosshair, give it a try. Wow, look at that view. Wow.
You promised us information.
I didn't say I had it on me, but I'll get it.
Oh, that's dirty, Fennec.
You can either fight me or trust me. Good choice.
Oh my gosh, I'd be so pissed. How could she do them like that? Well, I guess that means we'll be seeing her again sometime soon. Who's the client?
I just finished a job with some clones. They were asking about the Empire's MCAT.
Wait, don't tell me she's double crossing them.
I'm sure you can track them down easily enough. I'll send you what I have.
She's double crossing them? Oh my gosh, Fennec, we were rooting for you.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Oh my goodness. I'm so disappointed. All right, guys, so that was actually a pretty good episode. I enjoyed that one. So there were basically two main storylines going on this episode. One was between Fennec and Wrecker and Hunter, and the other was between Omega and Crosshair. Let's talk about Fennec, Wrecker, and Hunter first. So first of all, we had the return of Fennec Shan this episode, which was pretty cool. I believe one of you in my comments actually pointed this out as well, that this was supposed to be the episode where she showed up. It looks like she kind of double-crossed them by the end there. I have a few thoughts about that. So number one, it does seem like the Bad Batch tend to get screwed over and allow something like this to happen when it comes to Omega. They're so determined to protect Omega that sometimes they get desperate. So in this case, they were desperate to find out more about why the Empire wanted Omega, and so that's what allowed them to go along with Fennec in the first place. I really feel as though if it weren't for their desire to protect Omega, I think they might have been able to see it coming that Fennec might have pulled something like this, and they may not have allowed her to use them for this mission without first offering them something. Omega, although she is the strength of the Bad Batch, she definitely keeps them together. She's always like the light in the group, the heart of the group. She always is positive, and she definitely has a lot of skills as well. She also could be a potential weakness to the group because, like I said, they will do anything to protect her, and sometimes that causes them to let their guard down in certain situations. Right after promising them the information that they wanted, she then contacts her client and talks about how she encountered these clones and this person can track them down. So of course, a big question in my head was, who is this client? I definitely think it's going to be somebody kind of big or somebody that we already know, because they definitely were teasing it a lot. This kind of reminded me of how they teased who Fulcrum was in Rebels, then ended up being Ahsoka. So my thoughts are the client could be Ventress, potentially. I know I keep bringing up Ventress, but we know she's going to show up at some point. She would also have knowledge about the whole M count thing, so it's possible that this could be where we have her brought into the story. Another possibility is potentially Cody, maybe. Perhaps she'll help Cody track down the members of the Bad Batch so that Cody can join them, because when we last saw him, he went AWOL, so obviously he's not serving the Empire anymore. Could it be somebody else in the Empire, like a Hemlock? The other thought is Bane, but then they kind of have some bad blood between them, so I don't know if she'd necessarily be working for him, and he's also another bounty hunter, so I don't know that he would be a client who would hire a bounty hunter. I think he would just rather take a job himself. My thoughts are the client could also be Boba Fett potentially. Later on, Fennec and Boba do establish a close relationship with one another. So is it possible that this is the very early workings of their friendship / relationship? I also feel like we kind of have to see Boba show up at some point in the series. It's a series that is mainly about clones, and there's been so much talk about Omega, for example, being the last clone with Jango Fett's pure DNA, and obviously Boba Fett is the first. So it definitely would make sense to bring him into the story at some point. Yeah, either way, this client is going to be somebody big or somebody that we know for sure, I think, by the way they're teasing it. I do wonder as well if she is going to fully betray Hunter and Wrecker, or if she's doing a double dipping kind of thing, because she did mention in this episode that whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, the money's all the same. Everything for her is about money. And her and Hunter actually had an interesting conversation. Hunter was saying that money is not everything, and then Fennec said that's because you don't have any. With Hunter and Wrecker and the Bad Batch, they obviously value things much more than money. Being a team, being a family, not leaving those important to you behind. Whereas with Fennec, everything just revolves around money for her. But I guess that also means she has less weaknesses, you could argue. With the Bad Batch, one of their weaknesses, I think, is Omega. Even though she's also a strength, she's definitely a weakness as well, because they will do anything to protect her. With Fennec, because she has no attachments in that sense, she's pretty much just straight up business, and she just always does what she needs to do and gets done what needs to be done. You never really know which side she's gonna fall on. She's not really good or bad, she's somewhere in the middle. That's why I wonder if she could be double crossing the client too, trying to get the most she can out of the client and the Bad Batch. But what's interesting about Fennec and the Bad Batch is they also do have a lot in common. Although their perspectives are different when it comes to money and things like that, they both don't serve any particular organization. Neither of them work for the Empire. They kind of are outcasts in a way, trying to do what it takes to survive. They just have different ways of doing that. We did see Fennec ask about Omega a couple times, and that does make me wonder if she does care for Omega to a certain degree, but it's really hard to tell with her because, again, everything is just about money. Did she really care about Omega? She claims that she didn't lose Omega, she let her go once the bounty was called off, but maybe deep down she did want Omega to be safe. Hard to tell with her, but I think if anybody could humanize her, it would probably be Omega, because she does seem to have that effect on those around her. But yeah, that was a good sequence. We saw Fennec, Hunter, and Wrecker work together to capture that guy. His name was Siler, I believe. That was a good action sequence that went down there. But when I think back to it, I think the whole time Fennec really wasn't trustworthy. She was never upfront from the get-go. But that's what's so ironic, because she continues to say, do you trust me? You should trust me. But then yet, when they first made the deal, she made it seem as though she had the intel, even though she didn't. She still had to get it. Even during the mission, she made them disarm the bombs. She didn't want to get in the water, but she didn't tell them exactly why until after the fact, after those creatures came. And then when it came to confronting the guy, Siler, she was the lookout, and she let Hunter and Wrecker take all the risk. So really there were red flags from the beginning that this woman could not be trusted. That being said, she also didn't lie to them, but she withheld the full truth. So that's kind of the person that Fennec is. So you definitely have to watch out for her. There was one line that Fennec said as well this episode. It was something along the lines of, everyone's luck has to run out eventually. And I mentioned this during my reaction, but that does seem like a bit of foreshadowing to a certain degree. So yeah, we just got to see if that ends up being foreshadowing indeed. Does that relate to any members of the Bad Batch potentially? But yeah, guys, so the other part to this episode was the Omega and Crosshair segment. I really like seeing them bond once again this episode. I really do love what their relationship is becoming. I like that Omega was filling Crosshair in on what he missed. One thing that comes to mind was when they were meditating and he asked where she learned that, and you could almost tell with the look in his eyes that he realized, man, like, I really did miss a lot. Why didn't I join back with my family sooner? And then Omega just once again showed how she is constantly the light and the heart of the group. She's always optimistic. Even when AZ says there's nothing that can be done with Crosshair's hand, she always refuses to give up hope. She always tells him that there's a way that his hand will be healed. We have been wondering for a little bit of time what exactly had happened with his hand. But in this episode, it was confirmed that it had something to do with Tantus, but they implied that it could potentially be more mentally related versus physically related. By that, I'm not sure if they mean the experiments that he endured potentially had an effect on his nerves, like his nervous system? Or is he potentially suffering from some form of PTSD but doesn't want to admit it? Crosshair in particular has always been very stoic, very emotionless. He's got a tough exterior, and it's possible that maybe he doesn't want to admit that he really is emotionally scarred from what he witnessed and what he endured on Tantus, and maybe his hand shaking is an effect of that. We saw him be his most vulnerable and his most open to actually wanting to try and heal when he was alone with Omega, which again, you know, Omega is, she does have that effect on people. They have a lot of focus on Crosshair's mind. Omega in particular seems to think that he can potentially fix his hand on his own with his mind, and the mind is a very powerful thing when it comes to clones. Obviously, the inhibitor chips were quite literally implanted in the minds of the clones, and that's what caused them to carry out Order 66 in the first place. And in Crosshair's case, he removed his inhibitor chip, but he still chose to join the Empire, and then after a series of events, he chose to walk away from the Empire and then eventually join his brothers again. So Crosshair's mind in particular is very powerful. If anybody could overcome the PTSD or whatever it is that he's dealing with that's causing his hand to tremble, it would be Crosshair. And last but not least, we also saw the return of Fee this episode, and she mentioned Tech, which I love that they mention Tech from time to time, so that, you know, just to know that he still lives on and that he's not forgotten. I would have liked to have seen her reaction though to Tech's death. I don't think they actually showed her reaction to Tech's death or Crosshair's reaction. It was all after the fact, but I think it would have been definitely emotional because you could tell she was really taking a liking to Tech. I also liked how when Crosshair asked who Fee was, she said that she's a liberation of wonders, and then she said, okay, she's a pirate. It's just funny because that's how Fee initially described herself when she met the Bad Batch. But again, we're just reminded of how much Crosshair missed, because even for a moment I kind of forgot that Crosshair never met Fee. But yeah guys, overall, like I said, I definitely enjoyed this episode. You guys let me know down below in the comments as always what you thought of the episode, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe guys, and I will see you guys next week for episode 9 of the Bad Batch season 3. Until next time guys, take care and see you soon.